The final point is the bow and arrow. We can only really remember one point from a video. Your audience is going to remember one thing. What is that one thing? The one thing from this video is that you've got what it takes. You already know you're a natural speaker. That's my arrow. My arrow is what is your one thing. So what's the bow? The bow is all of these things that add to that one thing. Talking to me, telling stories, finding your flow, increasing, decreasing speed, increasing, decreasing intensity. These are all things that add up to you being a natural person, being a natural speaker. These are all things that add up to you being the natural speaker that you already are. And so the bow and arrow is that I have one thing that I'm going to say. And I'm going to trust my Google autocomplete that when these thoughts come into my head of things to add, they're not going to distract me. They're not going to take me into my governor brain and freeze me up. They're going to be things that I can kind of bring into the fold to make it a little bit more of an interesting, lively, and authentic talk. So what's your bow and arrow? Your arrow is the one thing that you want to communicate, and your bow is all of those things that you're going to bring together. The challenge is not to get off track. And so there's some great games, again, on Ultraspeaking that I use, but you can use this just on your own with video, with cards. You can make some cards that have some distracting different subjects like a banana or anything like that. And you can bring it in. You say, well, you know, business and e-commerce is like peeling a banana, right? So you can learn to bring those things in. And so how you practice bow and arrow is just a few different unrelated thoughts, and then you pick the arrow of what you're going to talk about and you try to incorporate those. Later, your Google autocomplete may bring in some great ideas as you're speaking, and you just incorporate them the same way.